No one had ever seen such a completely insane gamble, where there were no limits to the wager itself. But once someone lost the match, the person who lost would have to surrender their very soul. At this moment, under Darby's manipulation, Grandpa and Polnareff had both already lost their wagers. Their souls had been crafted into chips by Darby. Therefore, in order to win back the souls of the two, Jotaro decisively stepped up to the plate, and the wager against Darby happened to be poker, which was Darby's absolute best specialty. Very soon, the two of them set up the tabletop, but before the wager kicked off, Jotaro stated that he needed to inspect the cards first. He had Darby pull out a random hole card from the deck after finishing shuffling the cards. Immediately after, such a scene unfolded, as Jotaro not only called out the exact hole card Darby had pulled out, but also accurately listed every single card beneath that hole card without a single error. This completely shocked everyone present on the spot. The person who shuffled the cards was clearly Darby, yet Jotaro knew the exact order of the entire deck. At this point, Darby knew that all of this was because of Star Platinum's mind-blowing eyesight. However, as long as he was careful while shuffling the cards and kept the opponent from seeing the card faces, it would be fine. To ensure fairness, Darby pulled out a deck of poker cards with its seal still intact, and after letting Jotaro inspect it thoroughly, they decided who would shuffle the cards by drawing for the highest card. During this entire process, Darby didn't pull any suspicious moves, and simply split the cards for the two of them with absolute obedience. But unexpectedly, in the very next second, Jotaro Star Platinum snapped one of Darby's fingers right apart. Seeing that Avdol, standing aside, hadn't figured out the situation yet, Jotaro had no choice but to explain that Darby was cheating. Sure enough, the second card in the deck had already been pulled out by Darby at this moment, which meant Darby was just planning to deal this card to Jotaro, so that the actual top card would go to himself, turning his own hand into three-of-a-kind tens. Without a doubt, this was absolutely an advanced cheating technique in poker. If it were a regular person, they would probably be completely clueless about it. Not to mention that this guy Darby had even memorized the exact order of all the cards. Ultimately, considering that Darby's finger was already broken, Jotaro had no choice but to call over a random kid from a distance to deal the cards for them. Seeing this scene, Darby decisively decided to add a little extra stakes to this wager. He manipulated his stand, splitting the chips crafted from Polnareff's and Grandpa's souls into 6 pieces each. As long as Jotaro could win 6 pieces, then it would count as winning back 1 soul. Very soon, both sides squared up once again. After 2 rounds, the two of them both wagered 3 of their chips and chose to check their cards. Jotaro's hand was 2 pairs of 8s and 9s, while Darby's hand turned out to be 2 pairs of jacks and queens. Up to this point, Jotaro lost half of his chips. His original 6 chips were now reduced to only 3, but even so, Jotaro didn't show a single trace of panic, and started the wager once again instead. Seeing that his whole cards were 3 kings, Darby straight up tossed out a chip, but what happened in the very next second completely shocked everyone. Jotaro actually went all in with his 3 chips without even looking at his whole cards, and on top of that, he even wagered Avdol's soul right next to him. The battle-hardened Darby wasn't intimidated by Jotaro, and simply continued ordering the kid to deal the cards, because not only was this kid arranged by him ahead of time, but as long as it was anyone who would appear in this shop within Jotaro's line of sight, they were all arranged by him ahead of time. So no matter how Jotaro operated, what he got in his hand would only be a pile of absolute garbage. Darby straight up called the bet. While wagering Polnareff's soul, he also wagered all of Grandpa's soul at the same time. This move instantly shocked Avdol, because Jotaro currently had no chips left in his hands. But at this time, Darby stated that Jotaro could also wager Kakyoin's soul next. Hesitating for a mere moment, Jotaro wagered Kakyoin's soul